So how does the audience find Montrose Run Club, sign up, and maybe join if they're using it?
So right now through the summer, we're doing every Sunday at 9 a.m. at Limu in Montrose.
What's your ultimate vision for where you see it going?
Yeah, I have a huge goal of I want to rebrand it at some point too, but I want to...
What keeps you motivated? Would you say it's pretty much your grandpa, or, I'm sure there's parts for yourself and also serving others, when it is tough and you're like, oh, I don't want to run today, what gets you?
Yeah, I guess what keeps me motivated to still run it is
Welcome back to another episode of Blissful Beings. I'm your host, Janine Cascio, the CEO of Symboletic Financial. And on this podcast, we have Sydney Payne. She is actually the Chief Operating Officer of Symboletic Financial. And as you see, we're actually in the Simple Chat office. But I need to get a Blissful Beings podcast. So anyway, she is also the founder of Montrose Run Club. So we are not talking about simple lending. We are talking about Montrose Run Club. Sydney, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Do you want to maybe just introduce yourself, talk about Montrose Run Club and what it stands for?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Sydney. I guess I'll just talk about my background with running. Really, I grew up playing soccer, so all I've really known how to do is run. Both of my parents, when I was in middle school, they both did bodybuilding. Not a thing for me at all, lifting weights or anything. But also growing up, my grandpa was in high school and graduated college. He was a huge runner, running 4-minute miles, 5-minute miles, and beating his own PR times. Yeah, very accomplished. I'm pretty sure that he would also do the Olympic trials at one point is what he did. But yeah, big runner. He's a big runner. And so, yeah, I kind of just grew up running. I had on and off done training. After high school, I wanted to do the Disney Princess half marathon when I lived in Florida. So I would run 5 miles every day. And then anytime that I wanted to start working out, that was the first thing that I picked up was running because that's all I know how to do. Or I played soccer. And so about 2 or 3 years ago, my grandpa unexpectedly, he passed away, from a pulmonary embolism. So it's basically something in his heart. I think it was just exploded basically. And he also had MS, when I was younger too. So for him, typically whenever you have MS, your body starts kind of deteriorating, your brain starts deteriorating, as soon as you're 40, 50 years old, but he was able to still be mobile, and still be able to use his brain and walk and everything, and was still very strong. And we kind of attribute it to him running and having been so healthy most of his life. So whenever he passed away, that was something that was huge on my part, was to pick running back up and honor his legacy with running. And just honor him in that way, honor my family in that way. The rest of my family aren't runners. It's me, my grandpa. My mom ran a bit when I was in middle school, high school too. But that's how I wanted to honor him, was to run and to take it more seriously. So bought a new pair of shoes, started running again. And I'm kind of more so hobby run for about 2 years. And that's when I started Montrose Run Club too. That was before the whole run club hype that's going on right now. So I just saw a need for people my age in these later 20s to have a run club, because typically the run clubs back then were all older people, so 30s and 40s and stuff. People waking up at 6 a.m. doing runs, and that just was my vibe. I'm let me do it on the weekend at 9 or 10, and do it in the evening and fill that gap. So I started Montrose Run Club, and then was very inconsistent with 2 years. And I joke now that people I joke now that the reason why a lot of people don't come is because they think I'm going to cancel, because that's what I would do is I would set up a run and then I would cancel it last minute, which was so bad. But now I'm not doing that. I've been consistent. But to continue my running journey, about a year and a half ago, I hired my run coach, who she's based out of Chicago, and she gives me my run plans, and we do weekly calls too, which is great. She's really helped me get some structure into my running and build myself to be the runner that I am now. And then I think in December-ish time, December, I ran my first half marathon, which I never thought I would have done that before. That was a huge thing for me. I went out to San Antonio by myself, ran a half marathon, came back to Houston. And then in January, it was actually on the day of the anniversary of my grandpa's passing, there was a 5K, and I wanted to do the half marathon to honor him, which was the day after he would have passed. But that was sold out, and I was really butthurt about it. I was like, well, I don't want to do a 5K if I can't do the half marathon. And I sucked it up, and I was like, okay, no, it's not for me. It's to honor my grandpa. That's the reason why I started running again. And so I decided to sign up for the 5K, and I wanted to PR my 5K, and I did on the day of the anniversary of him passing, which was just a very special me moment that, not me moment, but like honoring moment for my grandpa. And then I ran another half marathon the following month too, which didn't go well, but we will get into that. But I started doing Montrose Run Club again back in December, and we've been doing weekly runs ever since then. I haven't canceled one. So,
nice.
Yeah. Now it's a group of, with like 10, 15 people.
Yeah, and they're pretty consistent with showing up, and it's just going to grow, so that's exciting. And what keeps you motivated? Would you say it's pretty much your grandpa, or, I'm sure there's parts for yourself and also serving others, like when it is tough and you're like, oh, I don't want to run today, like what gets you?
I guess what keeps me motivated to still run it is I've been doing a lot of, charity work with my runs too. Like, yes, to honor my grandpa and honor my family, but I've been doing a lot of work with, there's an organization called To Write Love on Our Arms. It's a suicide prevention one that I've done work with for 15 plus years now. Like, I was part of it in high school. Like, they would go to a Warped Tour and everything, and I would, like, do stuff for them, like, help do benefits and everything. And so it's carried into my adult life and what I'm doing now, and I'm able to use running as part of it. But they do monthly challenges, so like running 50 miles in the month of November I did, and I raised some money for that, which was really cool. And then this month right now I'm doing a 30-mile challenge, and they're always doing challenges like that.
Wow.
And back in May I actually hosted a 5K, my first 5K as Montrose Run Club for suicide prevention, raised money with that. So I would say, I guess that's a lot of what motivates me, is that one, it's good for my mental health, and I know that it's
giving back.
It'll help, it'll help others, it gives back, and then my run consistency kind of gets recognized, like even within like the work community and within the industry, people know that I run, and they'll also donate to the causes too. Right. So it's become more than just like me and my grandpa and like my health. It's like my mental health, but it's also like in support of organizations, which is really cool, and an organization that I've done work with for 15 years is very close to my heart and that I personally love.
Awesome. And what would you say is any tips or mindset tricks you have really gathered? Because I know even myself, there's so many people that are like, what, 10 miles? Like, I'm sure I probably can do it. I just never even thought.
You never put your body to 10 miles. Yeah.
So what is a tip or trick you'd give someone wanting to push themselves?
I think just taking it mile by mile, really, and giving yourself the grace that not every run's going to be easy. Every run's going to have its challenges. Yeah, you have to work towards it for sure. Otherwise, your body's going to be mad at you. And I think that's the biggest thing working towards it and giving yourself the grace, I think, is two of the biggest things that I've really instilled within my runs.
And maybe finding a run coach.
And I found my run coach, which she's been such a huge help. Even though she's remote, we have the calls, and she gives me the plans and everything, and assesses me on a week-to-week basis, which is awesome. But there's something else. Something that I've really worked on in the past year that I think has really helped me too is like feeling good on my runs and feeling good after my runs. Like, what can I do to set myself up, have a good run through it, and then feel good after, not completely depleted.
Yeah.
And I mean, both of my half marathons that I've had, like, I felt great after.
Nice.
Which is so
probably the goal.
Yeah, which is the goal. I don't want to feel like I just gave it like completely exhausted, but that also comes with the slower mile times, like taking time to fuel and like all of that. But just being mindful is really what's set me up, I think. For
Love that. And what would you say is next for Montrose Run Club? Like, what's your ultimate vision for where you see it going?
Yeah, I have a huge goal of like I want to rebrand it at some point too. But I want to be like, I want to create like a runwear brand, like an athletic wear brand. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do.
Like, you make some pink set.
I'm sure there'll be some color in it for sure, but there's a lot of ideas in my brain on my Pinterest board and everything. But that's kind of, I don't know when that's going to happen, kind of maybe whenever I just have like the time and the money to dedicate towards it, but that is definitely
I'm sure fashion
what I want to do with
expensive little rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Cool. So how does the audience like find Montrose Run Club, sign up, and maybe join if they're using
it? So right now through the summer, we're doing every Sunday at 9 a.m. at Limu in Montrose. It's at Montrose Collective, and if you wanted to follow, see whenever we put some merch out, some athletic wear and everything, it's just Montrose Run Club on Instagram.
Love it. Thank you for being on Blissful Beings.
Yeah, of course.
Stay blissful.